Hey guys, so Sunny Brigham here. Let me just adjust this. I apologize. Let me see if I can get this right. Had some technical difficulties, as I appear that I always do recently. That seems really dark. Let's see if we can change that. Maybe slightly better? Who knows? I like to use this camera that I bought for my computer, but for some reason it seems to not be functioning appropriately as of late. So I spent some time trying to set that up, and then my son was texting me. He headed back to California today to continue his Marine Corps training. So that's what I was working on. And as most of you know, I cannot do two things at once, so nothing was happening. Am I live? Is it working? Why can I not get this on my computer? I'm trying to link the blog, for you guys. Maybe that's why I don't have any internet. The interwebs on my computer doesn't seem to be functioning. Perhaps that is why I could not get this to start. Interesting. Interesting. As I sit here and ramble until I get myself squared away.
You can do it.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, babe. Okay. So, Kelly said hi. Sorry if that was super loud. Okay, we got the blog there. Let me see if I can pin. There we go. Okay, so I just pinned the blog, so if you haven't read the blog yet, it's there. Hello to everyone viewing. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Sunny Brigham. I'm a board-certified clinical and integrative nutritionist, and I help individuals overhaul their lifestyle by losing weight, reducing their fatigue, and taking back their life. Oh, reducing their bloat. I also do that. That's a big one. By focusing on gut health and making small sustainable lifestyle changes. And I have a master's of science in clinical nutrition, and so this is what I do every Tuesday night. I go live on Facebook to bring the knowledge to you all. And so tonight we're going to talk about navigating eating out at restaurants or parties or things like that. So this doesn't happen so often right now because we're not really in holiday season, kind of. Although we do have, I almost fell there. Although we do have Memorial Day coming up, we've got 4th of July coming up, and then inevitably, you know, you have get-togethers on the weekend if you are that type of person that happens to leave your house, whereas I am not because I'm a massive introvert with anxiety and I feel like everybody's judging me, so I stay home all the time. And that's segueing to nowhere, so I don't know why I just said that. Anyway, yeah, so eating out. So most people want to eat healthy. We want to maintain a healthy lifestyle, whether we're doing that now or we're trying to obtain that. But it seems like as soon as you get on, you know, the healthy eating track, something happens. You know, you go on a trip, you're out of town, vacation, a big party happens, and you're thinking to yourself, like, how can I go to this party and enjoy myself, but still, you know, let my hair down a little bit and enjoy some of the snacks and treats and foods and things like that? Because we as people, it's my baby dude. Come here, buddy. Say hi to everybody. Hello. Can you wave your little paw? You don't need to be up there. He just welcomed himself to the counter. And so, you know, because we, as humans, most of us tend to be social, and so all of our gatherings usually are centered around food. And so what we're going to talk about is if you are attempting to overhaul your lifestyle, you're trying to become healthier, or maybe you've made a recent change and you are afraid that going to this social gathering or eating out with your friends or going to this party where they serve lots of yummy num-nums is going to throw off everything that you've worked for. We've got some strategies that you can employ in order to overhaul that. So even if, I'll just throw this out there. So even if you eat healthy, right? Let's say you go to a restaurant and it's like a health food restaurant and you're really trying to eat the best thing that they have, inevitably, it's not going to be as healthy as making it at home. And the reason being is that you can control what you put in your food when you're cooking it in the kitchen. When you eat out, we have hidden sugars and we also have lots of sodium. When they're preparing things in the kitchen, again, even if it's a health food place or something that touts itself as healthy foods or healthy eats, it's going to have a lot of sodium. Aside from people that have blood pressure issues, sodium can cause a spike in that. The bigger issue I see is puffiness. Usually after somebody that's been doing really well at reducing their sodium intake or eating a healthier diet, adding lots of plants and fruits and vegetables and things like that, and they go out and eat dinner somewhere, even if it's at a healthy place, what they're finding is the next day they just feel a little puffier or they feel a little more sluggish, and that's going to be the sodium. It's going to take some time to get it out of your system. Drink lots of water. I know that seems counterintuitive to retaining water, but drink lots of water and that'll help flush the sodium from the system. Salad dressings and sauces are a huge place for hidden sugars. So with that being said, just know those things going into it. Anytime you eat outside the home, it is never going to be 100% healthy. It's never going to be exactly what you could cook in the home, but there are things that you can do to make it a little bit better. But what we're going to focus on tonight is what you can do so that you can go out, indulge, still have a good time, and not feel like, I threw everything off last night. Why did I do that? I feel like I just tanked my entire, healthy lifestyle that I've been really working on. So I think that, and I might have a not so popular opinion on this, but I feel that people should indulge on occasion. Because, we only have one life, right? We're trying to be healthy so that we can extend it for as long as possible. But I think extending it for as long as possible, you still have to have some fun in there every now and again. Like my clients, I always tell them, it's your birthday, eat cake. You don't have to abstain from cake. You don't need to go for some weird, sugar-free cake kind of thing. If it's your birthday, eat cake. Have some ice cream, blow out some candles, enjoy yourself, have a glass of wine or a beer or whatever it is that you enjoy. And then in the morning, you get back on the wagon. And it's the same thing, if you have eaten healthy all week long and you did everything that you feel that you were supposed to and you're really satisfied with the way that you ate, what's wrong with going out on Friday night or Saturday night or going to that afternoon barbecue on Sunday? I don't see a problem with it unless you're on a therapeutic diet. So if you're on a therapeutic diet that I have prescribed to you or somebody else, another nutritionist, dietitian that has prescribed to you, and they specifically say, you want to eat only these foods during this period, those are the times that I would abstain. Aside from that, I think it's okay to go out and indulge every now and again. It's okay to be social, and it's okay to have cake, just in moderation. So things that I like to do if I'm going to go out, which isn't that often, but if I'm going to go out, I will typically suggest a healthier option. So like we talked about, for a few minutes in the beginning, no place is going to be as healthy as your own kitchen, but there are healthier places than, let's say, McDonald's, or a barbecue joint or something like that. So I will throw out a healthier option suggestion and see what other people's takes on it. Some people might say, you know what, I've been dying to try that place. Yeah, let's do that. If it's a shindig that I'm coordinating, like a work event or something like that, I'm going to pick a place that I want to go to and I feel comfortable eating at. So don't be afraid to throw out suggestions. If you've got a new place in town that you've been wanting to try, if you know there's a healthier option, like if you're here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, specifically Fort Worth, some Righteous Foods is a good option to try. That's probably my go-to. Ooh, I closed all my rings. Yay! Closed all my Apple Watch rings. Went for a walk earlier. I was speed walking. My husband didn't like my up and down movements through the neighborhood. He was a little embarrassed at that, but that's okay. So choose, throw out a healthier option, and don't be afraid to do so. Don't be afraid that, people are going to say they don't want to eat there because healthy is pretty yummy. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can jazz up when you're eating them. And so if you're going to eat at your friends' not so healthy options, you know, they should repay the favor by eating at your quasi-healthy option at some point. So don't be afraid to suggest a place to eat. And again, if you're coordinating it, pick the place and say this is where we're going, and make it a healthy one. Another option you have is to eat first. And so this is a really good one for holiday gatherings, right? Because around the holidays, it's get together after get together after get together after get together. And everybody puts on, you know, the 10 pounds over the holidays. Eat first. Have something in your house, something that you've made, something that you feel comfortable eating, and eat that first. So that when you go, you still make yourself a plate, you still eat, you still order something at the restaurant, but maybe it's a small appetizer instead of a large entree, or maybe it's a house salad with some dressing or something like that instead of a large entree. So don't be afraid to nosh before you go out. That's a common one. So let's say you're going to meet up for dinner and drinks at 8. Why not have a small meal at 7 in your house? That way you don't walk into the restaurant and immediately smell all the food and think, oh, I want one of everything. And you're able to kind of control your impulse a little bit better when you're looking at the menu and you see all the tasty things on there. Eat your vegetables. So this should be a priority all the time. All the time we should be making vegetables a focus of most of our meals. And I say most because vegetables is a little hard to incorporate in breakfast, just because we have it ingrained in our mind that breakfast should be a sweet treat. And that's okay. Again, maybe I have an unpopular opinion. Hashes, those types of things are good for breakfast. They're easy to incorporate vegetables, but I don't want to kill all of my clients' mood by telling them they can't have sweet treats for breakfast, i.e. fruit. And so I will tell them to focus on lunch and dinner for vegetables. Get as much vegetables as you can at lunch and at dinner, and maybe have some snacks that are vegetables as well. And so do the same thing when you're eating out. When you go out and you're looking at your plate and you're thinking, what can I order? How can I do this? Instead of getting the baked potato or the mashed potatoes or the side of corn or whatever, order a double side of veg, order a double side of broccoli, steamed vegetables, something like that. So when you're looking at your plate, half of it is all vegetables. So the other half would be a whole grain and a protein, but this half should be vegetables. And eat those first. So as soon as you get your plate and you sit down, start eating the vegetables first. That's going to fill you up faster, and it's going to prevent you from overeating on the other things, or making you think, I want dessert now, or oh, that wasn't enough, I need more. So start with the vegetables. And you can also start with a side salad or a starter salad or a house salad or something instead of getting an appetizer, eating the fried pickles or the wings or whatever. Order a salad and start with that. Just stay away from the ranches and those sorts of things. Always go for a vinegar or an oil-based dressing when you're out. Yes, there is going to be some sugar in there, but it's far much better than having ranch or blue cheese or something like that. So start with a salad, or make half of your plate vegetables. Order a double side of veg, start eating that so that you can enjoy that and eat it all. Okay, so scope it out. If you know where you're going, it's Wednesday night and you're prepping to go out Friday night, why not pull up the menu? I mean, we all have these smartphones and internets and interwebs and technology and things like that. Pull up the menu. See what they serve. Start picking out what you're going to eat. Another thing that you can do is contact the restaurant. I know a lot of people that will call ahead and explain their dietary restrictions, and 9 times out of 10, the manager will get on the phone, even at chain restaurants like Chili's and Applebee's and those sorts of things. The manager will get on the phone and is willing to work with you the best that they can to try to get you an item that's going to be within your dietary restrictions. And when you get there, they'll say, hey, just ask for me when you get there. You get there, you tell your server, hey, I'm so-and-so. I spoke with the manager earlier. His name is that. He told me to, link up with him when I got to the restaurant. You make contact with the manager and you get your special meal. So you go out with your friends, they get to eat where they want, and you get a bit healthier option when you're eating. Most places do have healthier options on most menus today, but if you have, a dairy restriction or Let's say you're vegan and you're going to a restaurant that doesn't really sell or, make vegan meals. You can always call ahead and get them to throw something together for you, or cook the broccoli without butter, or something to that effect. So if you're on a therapeutic diet, or if you're trying to stay away from a specific food or specific food groups, just call in advance. You'll be surprised how many restaurants are willing to work with you because they want the business and they want the positive reinforcement on the internet. Because if you're happy and they did that and they bent over backwards for you, most people are gonna go leave a review and say, hey, this restaurant was great, they did this for me. So they are willing to do those sort of things. So look at the menu first, pick out what you're gonna eat before you go. That way when you get there, you're not feeling overwhelmed, like, oh, what am I gonna eat? None of this is healthy. I don't know how I can eat any of this without throwing off my diet or trying to eat my healthy lifestyle. And then call in advance. Pick up the phone, call the manager, speak with them and say, hey, coming in on Friday night with a group of friends, this is my dilemma. Guarantee most of them will work with you. And then, like I mentioned earlier, just indulge. Have a treat. If it's been all week and you haven't had anything that you would consider bad, why not let your hair down a little bit? If you don't have hair, you can shake your head out like my husband and pretend like you got some. So just indulge a little bit. The important thing with indulging is that you get back on the wagon. What happens when we indulge is people will have a sweet treat or a candy bar or a bag of popcorn or a bag of chips or whatever, and the next day the scale doesn't move and they think, whoo, that wasn't that bad. I guess I can have chips and I'm not going to gain any weight. And then the next day they have another bag of chips and then another bag of chips and another bag of chips, and before they know it, they step on the scale and they're up 4 or 5 pounds because they have a lot of water retention, or if it's been a couple weeks, now we gain some fat back. So always know that if you're going to indulge, you need to get back on the wagon the following day or the following meal. I'm a huge fan of the 80-20 rule, which is 80% of the time you eat healthy, and that means that 20% of the time you can let your hair down a little bit. 20% of the time looks like one treat day a week. So a day where you can just kind of indulge a little bit, have some snacks, have some treats. Maybe that's your Friday night, or maybe that's your Sunday where you go to brunch and things like that. Or it looks like 2 to 3 meals a week. Use those 2 to 3 meals a week wisely, spread them out. If you know you've got a work dinner that you have to go Wednesday, and then you've got date night on Friday, and then you've got girls' night on Saturday, that's your 3 meals. So then you know that every other meal throughout the week, you need to be eating as healthy as you possibly can. So lots of fruits and vegetables, lots of whole grains, and clean proteins. So that is it. So suggest a good place to eat. Eat first before you go, or snack. Start with some vegetables or a salad. Scope it out. Check out the menu. Give them a call. See if they'll work with you. And then, or just have a fun cheat day. Let's see what questions we have. If I can see this, I always have this problem where I cannot see people's questions. Let me see if I can look at it this way. Bear with me. I want to make sure I get your questions answered. I did see a few highs. Well, I'm looking. We went on a power walk earlier, and it was a power walk. So I can only see a couple, and I don't know why, and this really ticks me off. It really grinds my gears, as some people say. Gregory Pierce says, what about picky eaters? So are you talking like vegetables, or people that don't like fish, or people that don't like chicken, or people that don't like beans? Regardless of what you're talking about, so this is my take on picky eaters. And this comes from personal experience. I only ate a hamburger with mayonnaise for the longest time, even though I liked a bun, I liked ketchup, I liked all these other things. I wouldn't eat anything except the hamburger with mayonnaise when I was a kid. I didn't have spaghetti sauce on my spaghetti noodles until I was 23. I think I was 30 before I actually tried a strawberry. A lot of the foods that we don't like comes from shunted taste buds on our tongue from overall poor eating for a long period of time. When we're constantly eating fast food and chips and sodas and cookies and cakes and candies, we got all the sodium and sugar that's kind of shunting the taste buds. So once we clean up our diet, you start to notice all these wonderful flavors in different fruits and vegetables, and you're able to expand your palate a lot more. I haven't had one person yet that I haven't been able to get them to eat vegetables by cleaning up their diet a little bit. Very slow. If you're trying a new vegetable, I always tell people to cook them 4 different ways, and cook them yourself. Because, and I think I talked about this last week when I threw my husband under the bus with the Brussels sprouts. I don't like them if he cooks them, but I like them if I cook them. I'm also very picky about my broccoli. I like it to have a little crunch. I don't like soggy broccoli. And so I would never have known that if I didn't experiment and kind of cook broccoli on my own and figure out exactly how I liked it. So definitely, experiment, clean up the diet first, and then experiment and add in some vegetables out there. You have to take care of a new kid. You have a kid? You don't have a kid. What new kid are you talking about? And then Kelly said, what's it called? What about Zoe's Kitchen or Luna? So those are okay. I would say that those are a little bit healthier options. Again, that's kind of like healthy eating out. It's never as healthy as what's in your kitchen. There's going to be some hidden sugars. There's going to be some hidden sodium. Like specifically for Zoe's Kitchen, I think they put dairy in their hummus and their falafel, or not their falafel, their pita, and it's why would you do that? Luna does the same thing. They put, they have dairy in some of their things that you wouldn't put dairy in, so it's a little confusing, and they do that a lot. So like mashed potatoes, I go to this place called Yucatan Taco Stand, and I'll get the vegetarian plate, but then I ask for no dairy, and they take off the mashed potatoes because there's no dairy in there. Oh, Kelly, the place I mentioned earlier was Righteous Foods. It's in Fort Worth. It's really yummy, and it's good for meat eaters and non-meat eaters alike, so they have options for both. Oh yeah, Matthew beat me to the punchline. Where did my iPad go? Oh, I know. Hold on. I'm back. I wanted to get my iPad so that I could see if I could see these other comments on here, because for some reason it is not letting me see these. Oh, there's not many. Okay, so Kelly said, hey Matthew, I don't get a hi. My husband gets a hi and I don't get a hi. I guess, hello. My sweet sister says hello. Grace Drew says good evening. Well, good evening to you as well. Picky eaters, veggies, have to take care of a new kid. I think that's all the comments. Turbo. I like when he calls me such sweet names. Okay, well I think that's it for tonight. Let me tell you what we're chit-chatting about next week. We are talking about, oh, is fruit really bad? So this is a question I get a lot, and so look out for the blog. It'll come out on Monday on my website. It's Complete Health SB, as in Sierra Bravo or sunnybrigham.com. So completehealthsb.com. It's up on Monday morning, and so we're going to talk about, is fruit really bad? And then next Tuesday, we are going to do a Facebook Live on it. If you have not joined my closed Facebook group on my page, it's called Sprouting Up Nutrition Knowledge for Your Health. I highly recommend doing that. There was a link posted a couple days ago. I will also post a link here for you guys. So if you haven't joined that, I recommend you do that because that's a closed group. So anything that you post, I like to call them nosy Nancy's on your Facebook page is going to be able to see what you're posting there. And then I also do a private live for those group members on Wednesdays to answer any personal health questions they might have. So that is it. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.